Hello, welcome to Creating Connections podcast, episode number 115. I am Mitch Taylor.
And I'm Vicki Musney.
And today we're going to talk about selling a tractor.
I have never done that before.
Or no, buying a tractor.
I've never done that before either.
Or maybe both. How does this apply to you? You got to keep listening to find out. More after the break.
That was nice and easy.
What are you talking about? This also speaks to a much bigger issue.
Providing personal solutions through understanding people. This is the Creating Connections podcast with Gitomer Certified Advisor Mitch Taylor and Certified Personality Trainer Vicki Musney.
Welcome back to Creating Connections podcast, episode 115. I am Mitch Taylor.
And I'm Vicki Musney.
And today we're going to talk about the process of buying a tractor.
I can't wait. I know this is going to be a very educational experience for this city girl.
So recently, the tractor that my wife and I had, lawn tractor, by the way, this isn't, plowing these fields in the hot summer sun over by the gate. Lordy, here she comes with a basket of a chicken. Gold jug of sweet tea. It's not that,
Okay.
as I recite Kenny Chesney. But anyway.
But this is the tractor, the lawnmower kind that you sit on because your lawn is so large. You need that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. My wife and
I've seen your yard. You guys do live on a big.
Yeah, we have almost an acre roughly.
Yeah, we have about a fifth of an acre.
So we, and that's not total lawn mass either. Our lawn mass is maybe a half an acre, if I had to guess, or some of that ball.
It's significant. Okay.
Yeah, it's enough.
So you needed to buy a new tractor.
Yeah, so we had this one Craftsman tractor for 12 full seasons, and did okay with it, and it lasted and did well. And so at the end of last year, the tractor was kind of dying and it wouldn't start, and then it would grind a couple times, and my brother-in-law came over and fixed it. And then we tried it again, and we did that before in the past, and it started up as long as we just charged the battery or replaced the battery, it started right up. So, but we decided that we weren't going to try to make it last another season yet, and it was just too much money being sunk into it.
Makes sense.
To justify. So we decided to go shopping for a tractor, and we talked to my father-in-law and got his opinion, as he recently bought a new tractor about 2 years ago, some of that ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also went.
And he lives right there near you guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And so there's basically 3 to 4 stores, believe it or not, or actually it's probably, you can believe it considering where I live. There are about 3 to 4 stores where you can buy a lawn tractor here in town. 2 of them are chains and 2 of them are small mom and pops, if you will.
Okay.
So interesting. One being Tractor Supply, one being Sears, and then 2 small mom and pops.
All right.
So one of the chains, of course, both chains are open longer, right, than the mom and pops.
That makes sense.
So we went to the mom and pops first. We went to the place that I had had my repair work done for my tractor, and I know the brother that owns it. His brother did work on my house, and went there and wasn't really greeted all that friendly. There was a dog there.
Not a friendly dog, though.
No, relatively friendly dog, but still a dog there, just randomly in the store. And I'm like, okay. And with the lady that was walking up and saying, so it seemed like the dog belonged to part of the store.
Okay.
I'm not really sure, but so it wasn't like just someone.
Kind of charming. Okay.
Yeah. So in our town, there's 4 places to buy a tractor from. And basically you have 2 chains and 2 small mom and pops, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we went to the very first mom and pop that my father-in-law recommended that he does his service work at.
Okay.
And we were greeted by a lady there. They were a little bit busy, but she still greeted us, helped us. Of course, she answered any questions that we kind of had. We're looking at, deck sizes and horsepower of the engine. Is it a single? Is it a twin engine? And, what other things might you use the tractor for? Are you using it to plow snow in your driveway with a snowblower attachment, or, all these kinds of things, right? So we leave the store, and of course, my wife, who is a blue, as you know, blue-green, we leave the store with the book.
Oh my God.
Okay.
You were already losing me with some of the details that you just shared.
Right.
I was
So we leave the
trying
store with
really
the book,
hard.
and we have the pricing listed on each model number, right?
Mm-hmm.
To be able to research. And so she lets us go. Cool. So then we said, okay, we got time to hustle over to the other mom and pop store that is still open until 1 o'clock that afternoon. So we go there, and this is the place that I've done my repair.
Wait, the store closes at 1 o'clock in the afternoon?
Yes.
Okay.
On a Saturday, mind you, on a Saturday.
Okay.
So we hustle over to the mom and pop that I do my service work at. The old tractor was done at.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the guy and a little bit. He's a brother of a contractor we've hired in the past. And he's visiting someone else that day and talking to the customer. And we walk in and we're looking at different tractors, and we see a lineup of different, models and things like that. There's a lady that greets us, and there's a dog next to her, and it's a little weird. I'm like, why is there a dog in the store? But
I have a dog next to me.
But there was, and you're recording a podcast in your own home. That's a little different than having a dog in a retail environment, I think.
Okay.
And it wasn't like a seeing eye dog or something. That wasn't the case. But
it was just their dog hanging out at the store.
And I'm okay. I mean, that's fine. I've seen it in other situations, and I'm, from a town of 450 people, so it's certainly not averse to it.
Yeah.
It's just a little odd. That's all.
We have a couple of bars where we do trivia where dogs just kind of walk through, and seen it. Okay, so then what?
It was weird. Like, we weren't necessarily felt as welcomed. I don't know how to describe it, but it just was like, oh, it's about the same pricing as we looked at the first store, and the other difference in that. So then we decided, okay, let's go look at the 2 chain stores, right?
Okay.
Knowing already that we more than likely were going to buy from one of the other mom and pop stores because they also service what they sell. And the chain stores don't. Mm-hmm. So that would be the reason, the tipping point, if you will, for us to buy from the other store, for the mom and pop. So we go to the 2 chain stores, and the first store sells the same exact models that we were looking at the first store.
Okay.
The one we got a good response from the lady, and the brochure and the pricing and all that stuff. And so at that point, we're like, okay, we got the pricing here. It's the same as here. Why would we not go to the place that services them and buy it there anyway? So we would. But we went to the other one and looked at some lesser models, if you will. And now we're deciding between, okay, we're going to spend a little more money for better quality or perceived better quality.
Okay.
Or are we going to take, the same model, same make as our previous tractor our previous tractor lasted us 12 years. And so part of my question was longevity to the salesperson. And it was funny because the mom and pop store that we looked at first, and they gave us a brochure we had a good experience at, she said that their tractors typically lasted about 10 to 12 years. So in my head, I'm like, well, why would I go with a more expensive model if my previous tractor from a lesser priced model or lesser quality model
lasted that full range?
Yeah,
okay.
So we're debating, and we're talking in our heads, and we're debating about which way to go to save a little money or not. So it ends up that the models we thought were going to be lesser price and lesser quality were within really about $100 of the original model that we liked. So we ended up, after that much research, as you see, we went through 4 different stores. Would you
have done this the same way if your wife wasn't with you? Because she's really the blue. I mean, I know you're all about efficiency and value, but does having her involved in this process, does her blue affect you? Did it make you want to be more blue in your research?
Good question. Maybe, but I think I would have been very close. I might have knocked out one of the stores versus going to all four. But I think at that point I wanted to truly confirm, because we were spending four figures on a tractor. Well into
that's significant investment.
So when I'm spending four figures, I'm going to do, I'm not buying a $20 whatever off the shelf.
No.
It's if I use it.
But it's significant, and you want it to last for a long time. So
correct.
I get that. Yeah.
So I guess in that case, I do research more.
Mm-hmm.
You see me
sorry,
when
I'm analyzing everything as a person from a personality perspective. And so understanding that normally you're really efficient and quick to make decisions.
Yes.
But also I think needing value is tied into that efficiency. But then when you're shopping with your spouse, who I know is more detailed and naturally into research, I think that is going to help bring you that direction.
Well, the funny thing is that I was doing the research and she wasn't really doing the research as much. She was relying on me because this is a typical guy purchase.
I was going to say, could that be because it's buying a lawn tractor?
Yeah, exactly. Not to be sexist.
But I would have been the one that was like, well, what colors are they?
Yeah.
Like, you haven't told me that at all in this whole story.
Yellow.
I still don't know what color. They were all yellow?
No.
Because I would just go in there and be like, well, can I buy the red one? Like, if I'm going to mow my lawn, like, I would want it to be on a red tractor because I think that would look really pretty because I like red and green together.
It's a yellow tractor.
Okay, I like yellow too. That's my other personality.
Yeah,
too,
exactly.
So I could live with that.
Exactly.
But really, to me, those are the pertinent details of this story, and they were left out completely until this point.
Yeah. So to me, color was not important. It was about the features of the tractor and deciding, what size deck.
You're a red.
And the engine. What was the engine going to be? Is it a single or is it a twin? I think twin is better because if I need to ever push anything or pull anything, then I have the twin motor, which is better, and all these kinds of things. So I think the point to be gained here is that the salespeople I dealt with, the first one made us feel very welcome.
Mm-hmm.
The second one threw me a curveball and set a slightly different experience by having a dog present. It's no different than having a kid present, or if you're meeting at an office and I just brought my kid along to. No, it's not a professional buying experience, in my opinion. Not that we can't be down home and agree that if they're okay with it up front, sure, but in this case, I was surprised by it. Again,
bringing in the personalities, some people might have thought that was fun, charming, homey.
Yeah.
And but for you as a red who just wants to do business and be efficient, and you run your business that way, that is a real true curveball for you, because not at all how you would do things and not what you're expecting.
Right. And the third chain, the first chain, if you will, we didn't even speak to anybody. We just went, looked at the tractors outside, looked at them. That was it. Out the door.
Okay. Did you go to the other one? The other chain?
We went to the other chain, and the salesperson there was, how do I describe this? He was a little bit all over the map. He didn't realize that his signage was incorrect in regards to the tractor that was in front of us that he was trying to
the pricing was wrong, or
the description of the tractor was different. It was a different tractor that was on the description that was sitting in front of us.
Oh.
And he didn't realize it till partway through. But then he was also, this is interesting too, he was also very open about the fact that, this one over here has had head gasket issues, so I'm not sure if I'd really recommend that one. So he was very open about his product and knew information about his products.
Okay.
Even though he could have steered us towards, something different.
Yeah.
He was very open and upfront. But ultimately, we decided to spend the extra $100 or whatever it was to get the value we wanted out of the tractor.
So which store did you end up buying from?
We bought it from the very first store we walked in.
The very first store.
Yes.
Interesting.
So we stroked an $1,800 check and picked up tractor from the very first store we walked into because we were welcomed. We were given the information we needed to make a decision. All of our questions were answered. And
they have the added value too, right?
Yes.
That if something does come up, you have ongoing help available.
So I think the key lesson, if you're I just listened to this whole damn podcast.
Larry, I'm not going to go buy a lawnmower.
The key lesson to take away from this, if you're sitting at home wondering, why did I just listen to the last 10 minutes of this? The lesson to take home is that if you provide a comfortable setting for your customers, if you give them all the information needed to make a decision, and you make sure that they feel comfortable upon leaving, then that's going to set up a positive experience with your company that at the very least will result in positive word of mouth, even if they didn't choose you.
Well, and the other thing I'm seeing from the outside perspective here is don't be offended when somebody leaves a meeting with you and still wants to go talk to another event pro or another business, or to get more information, or just to see what somebody else offers. Some people are just naturally going to compare. It's part of how they're wired. And to compare a lawnmower purchase with something big for a wedding, they are significant purchases.
Yes.
And they are not things that you buy on a whim normally. They're not things that you buy all the time. It's not, well, if this doesn't work out, I'll just buy and, make a different choice next month. No, like you're planning, a one-time purchase is going to last for a really long time. So there are definitely a lot of parallels. And I think sometimes we can be offended, or we can walk away from a meeting and think, well, I thought we connected. Why didn't I get the sale right then? I don't understand. And I guess I just want to say, don't be discouraged. This is a real life example of someone doing shopping for a major purchase that went and compared other places and came back to the one where they had truly felt the connection.
Yeah. And that's what this is all about, creating connections. So that's where we're at for episode 115, Creating Connections Podcast, a buying experience. I'm Mitch Taylor.
And I'm Vicki Musney.
Thank you so much for watching and being a part, listening to our podcast. We greatly appreciate your viewership, your listenership. If you'd like to have questions, if you want to comment, please leave us a review at iTunes or comment down below with anything you'd like to see for a future episode. We greatly appreciate you being a part of the Creating Connections family.
Yes. Thank you so much. Have a great week.
This is Creating Connections, providing personal solutions through understanding people. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Creating Connections podcast with Gittimer Certified Advisor Mitch Taylor and Certified Personality Trainer Vicki Musney. For more information on providing personal solutions through understanding people better, visit creatingconnections.biz.